Welcome to 50 Ways to Succeed at Work, where you hear stuff about ways to succeed even the most well-intentioned colleagues, advisors, careers officers and HR departments may never get around to mentioning. This is episode 5 in the series 2, Minding Manners. Why please and thank you could be your secret weapon. John is reading a fascinating article at work on politeness in the organisation when his supervisor drops by.
Interesting article, John.
It's about an internal study at Cisco, a computer company. Did you know that they calculate that lack of politeness in the workplace costs them about $12 million annually?
Be nice if you did some work instead of reading articles.
But I think this directly relates to our current customer care approach.
I'm sure you're right, John, but how about giving reading a miss and talking to some customers and demonstrating it for real?
A few weeks later, John leaves his company, taking his insight into better customer care with him. His supervisor's lack of manners harms the company in 2 ways. He never discovers that the article on politeness is well grounded in evidence and could have helped his organisation if acted on. His poor leadership also drives away a valuable and talented employee. Now let's connect this story to you and your search for success at work. My research shows that when it comes to manners at work, people have 3 main questions. What do people mean by good manners at work? How can good manners help my career? And how should I respond if I keep encountering bad manners at work? So what do people mean by good manners at work? Well, politeness is culture specific. Rules of behaviour in your organisation may differ from ones elsewhere. Also, people may sometimes want to avoid the endless thanks flooding into their inboxes. If you're working with people from different countries, set out to discover their expectations about what good manners mean and what is respectful behaviour. Good office manners means knowing how to behave so that those around you feel comfortable in your presence. This kind of behaviour builds relationships and grows your job prospects. In practical terms, good manners at work provide a framework for communicating and results in fewer misunderstandings. The small things often drive others crazy, amounting to abusive manners. For example, constantly chewing gum, noisy earphones, excessive laughter, or borrowing stuff from you and not returning them. The most reliable guide for acceptable manners at work is treating others as you'd like to be treated. If that sounds too vague, here are some specifics to consider. Dress with respect. Looking presentable shows respect for other people. Check out your organization's dress code. For example, the podcast Perfect Appearance, episode 11 in this series, or listen to the podcast at 50ways.site. Personal hygiene. Ensure that you're someone pleasant to be nearby. For example, use deodorant, wear clean clothes, and care for teeth. Germ aware. If you sneeze, say excuse me. If you cough, cover your mouth. Minimize interruptions. Avoid loud personal phone calls and don't desk bomb colleagues with interruptions. Be helpful. If someone has a problem, don't ignore them. Ask about it and check if you can help them. People soon notice these small courtesies. Be appreciative. If someone does something nice, say something about it or drop an email. Kill the clutter. Keep your workplace presentable, since no one likes to come into a war zone every day with old coffee cups, piles of paper, and office detritus in evidence. Wait your turn to speak. Don't interrupt. Let others have their say and don't talk over other people. Phone aware. Keep your phone silent. No one wants to overhear your conversations, which can be very distracting. Step into an unused meeting room or go outside. The next question that people worry about is, how can good manners help my career? Most senior executives and managers say that in advancing a person's career, excellent manners matter. In fact, 2 out of 3 argue that this behaviour is essential to success. Being polite and considerate at work is not an optional extra. Good manners can attract people who enjoy being around you. This behavior may seem irrelevant, even old-fashioned, yet experience shows that it can give you a competitive edge. As a pleasant person to work with, your good manners make you a sought-after candidate for promotion. Also, with so much collaboration and informality in many workplaces, it's tempting to abandon things like please or thank you or the equivalent. Yet again, the evidence from research suggests the opposite. Most people at work like to be appreciated through good manners. So these continue to matter. Please and thank you or its equivalent remain critical social skills, sending an important message that you matter to me. Without these social lubricants, it's harder to form or maintain relationships. Collaboration becomes more fragile and less reliable. If you're rushed off your feet all day, saying thank you can seem an added burden. Yet the uncomfortable truth is that busyness is no excuse for sloppy manners, professional or otherwise. When you invest in good manners at work, you invest in your future. And the third question I found that worries people is, how should I respond if I keep encountering bad manners at work? You're entitled to be treated with respect at work. There's no need to tolerate rude, disrespectful or bullying behavior. This can be a hard lesson to learn. Undue tolerance can prolong bouts of bad manners. If you're receiving such bad behavior, be brave and speak up about it. While it's sensible to confront those imposing their form of bad manners on you, it's unrealistic, though, to expect your boss or team leader to always intervene, except in exceptional circumstances. Tackling rude behavior may affect not just your performance, but others. Practical steps you can take include: discuss making your feelings known privately to the person causing you grief. Express your concerns and explain how it negatively affects you. Analyze by spending a few moments reviewing what led to the rude behavior. By understanding this, you may be able to ignore the situation entirely. Check by asking colleagues, do you notice the same thing? This lets you know whether you're the only one who's taken offence. Also, others may offer insight into the rude behaviour that will help you address it. Detach by standing back from the situation and trying to observe it objectively. Consider your rude co-worker's behaviour from a different perspective. For example, how might they view it? Limit your interactions with the rude colleague, if possible. Be active in determining how often you must interact. And, of course, humour. Use your sense of absurdity to dispel any bad feelings. Find something amusing in the situation and allow yourself to laugh. Sincere smiles and non-threatening laughter can often eliminate any tension or awkwardness caused by rude behaviour. And my proposed action? Make a special effort today to say please and thanks. Check on how others around you use manners at work. No matter how informal your work scene, treat politeness as essential. And my takeaway from all of this? 2 out of 3 senior executives and managers feel good manners affect a person's career. So take these seriously. You've been listening to an episode of Andrew's 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. For more episodes, subscribe free to my regular weekly podcasts. You can catch up on past ones at the 50ways.site, where you can also become a foundation member with access to e-learning units, transcripts, further reading links, and the forum, where you can ask questions, share problems, and join a growing community of people who seriously want to succeed at work. Now there's a new book and an audio version called, you guessed it, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. Buy it at Amazon or the 50ways.site. Unmissable. Thanks for listening, and bye for now until next week.